A warm welcome to each and everyone, and welcome to Sir C. Reddy College of Engineering Online Education. So, in the last class, we did some problems from PSU's bits, especially from GATE and IES. And similarly, in this class also, we'll take some more bits from PSU's. And whatever the bits we are going to take in this class, that model is very, very important for any competitive examination. Whether you may consider a state-wise or center-wise or GATE or IES, this model is very, very important. So once it is completed, you will take university previous problems. So after that, let us try to know what is the outcome from the first unit. Outcome means end result. We can say end result or final product. This is 11th class for first unit. Means we have just spent 10 hours. By spending 10 hours, what would be the final result from the first unit? That is nothing but outcome from the first unit. So first, we will consider some previous bits. So all of you look at this problem. This model is very, very important for any competitive examination now. A small observation you can say answer. Just observe the characteristics and read the problem. The characteristics itself can give a lot of information now. This model is very, very important for any type of competitive examination now. And not only for the competitive examination, definitely you will get this type of bits in your online examination also. So that's why try to understand the problem and try to observe the given characteristics, because everything is there in the characteristics itself. Now let's try to understand the problem. The incremental fuel cost curves at generations A and B are shown below. How would be a load of more than 2 BT be shared between A and B if both generators are running up? Means every information is present in this characteristics itself. What they are saying means two generators are there, generator A and generator B, and this red line is the characteristics of generator A and the black line is the characteristics of generator B. And this characteristics is nothing but incremental fuel cost versus power. Your y-axis represents incremental fuel cost, whereas your x-axis represents a power generation. So these two are nothing but the corresponding incremental fuel cost with respect to power for generator A and generator B. So once if you observe the characteristics, this is nothing but a minimum power generation and this is your maximum power generation. Or we can say these two are nothing but a constraints for generator A and generator B. This is your lower limit and this is our upper limit. When you consider the generator A, at this point, the incremental fuel cost for generator A is more than generator B. So from this point, as you move, the incremental fuel cost of A is decreases up to this point. Then again consider generator B. At this point, if you consider the generator B, the incremental fuel cost for generator B is less when compared to generator A. As you move from minimum power generation to PG level, it is increases up to this point. Exactly at this point, what happens? The incremental fuel cost for generator A and generator B is equal. So at this point, when they are equal, they are going to generate same amount of power. How much power it is? PG. Means generator A will generate PG amount of power. Similarly, generator B is also generate same amount of power, that is PG. Now tell me at this point, what is the total generation? Generator A plus generator B means PG plus PG. How much? 2 PG. So at this point, the total generation is nothing but 2 PG. Understanding everybody? So because at this point, the incremental fuel cost for generator A and generator B is equal. So that's why both the generators will generate the same amount of power. So that's why when you are considering your PG, generator A will produce PG amount of power. Similarly, generator B is also generate same amount of power, PG. When you add these two, then you will get total amount of power being produced is 2 into PG. Now, what they are asking is, if the load is more than 2 PG, if the load is more than 2 PG, what would be the share between A and B? Means generator A will take more amount of power or generator B will take more amount of share. That is they are asking. Means we need to consider the characteristics after this point. So when you are considering after this point, generator B incremental fuel cost is increases, whereas the incremental fuel cost of the generator A is decreases. Now tell me the answer for this question. So after 2 PG, which generator will share more amount of power? Whether it is generator A or generator B. Very good, I got the answer. That is from 252, generator A will take more power after 2 PG. So still anybody? Yes, A0 is also giving that J. Answer is J. Yes, I need more responses. Yes, type your answers in our chat box. Yes, 18 series 239 is also giving that generator A will take more amount of power after 2 PG. Yes, everybody is giving that same answer, generator A. So this is nothing but our question, because after 2 PG, we need to consider the incremental fuel cost for generator A and generator B. So in between these two generators, which one have more incremental fuel cost and which one have a less incremental fuel cost? For example, when you observe these two, generator A is having less incremental fuel cost when compared to the generator B. So that's why generator A will take more amount of power when compared to the generator B. So this is nothing but our question, and let us try to see the given options. So these are nothing but a given options. Now tell me your answer in terms of options. So these are nothing but 4 options. The first one is both will share equally. Now tell me at what point these two generators will share equally. At exactly this point. When you consider at this point exactly, the incremental fuel cost for both the generators is equal. So that's why at this point, generator A will produce PG amount of power. Similarly, generator B is also produce PG amount of power. So that's why at this point, both generators will share equally. But from minimum to PG, tell me answer. From minimum to PG, tell me answer. What generator will take more amount of power? Means we need to consider from minimum amount of power generation to the PG. So in between these two, generator B is having a less amount of incremental fuel cost. So that's why generator B will take more amount of power. And after PG, when you consider these two characteristics, generator A has less incremental fuel cost when compared to the generator B. So that's why after 2 PG, generator will take more amount of power. So that's why in this case, our answer is C. Generator A will share more than PG. Okay. So this is nothing but our answer. C is nothing but our answer. That is generator A will share more than PC. Okay, we need to consider this portion. When you are considering at exactly at this point, the answer would be A. And similarly, when you are considering less than PG, then answer is B. Generator B will share more than PG. Okay, so this is the 31st bit. Now, let us consider one more bit. Now, try to understand this bit and tell me the answer now. And these two bits are a frequently asked question in any competitive examination. Repeatedly, they're asking. With our minimum observation, we can say the answer. We can pick up a right answer. Now try to understand this problem and tell me the answer for this question now. So let's take this problem. The incremental cost curves in rupees per megawatt hour for two generators supplying a common load of 700 megawatts are shown in the figures. The maximum and minimum generation limits are also present in the given characteristics. Then, what could be the optimum generation schedule by the generator A and generator B? So here we need to understand the first point is common load is equals to 700 megawatts. Means P1 plus P2 is equals to 700 megawatts. Common load is equals to 700 megawatts means together these two generators must be produced up to 700 megawatts. So that's why we can write here P1 plus P2 is equals to 700 megawatts. Now again, there is a huge information is there in these two characteristics. The first characteristics is related to the generator A and the second characteristics is related to the generator B. This is also same thing. This characteristics is nothing but the curve between incremental fuel cost versus power generation. Similarly, this is also same thing. The incremental fuel cost versus power generation in case of B. Similarly, they have given some constraints. If you are considering generator A, the constraints are nothing but lower limit for your generator is 200 megawatts and upper limit for generator A is 450 megawatt. Means your PA must be in the limits of 200 megawatts to 450 megawatts. Similarly, when you are considering the second generator, for the second generator, the minimum power generation is 150 megawatt and the maximum generation is 400 megawatts. Means power generation by the B generator is must be in the limits of 150 megawatt to 400 megawatt. And similarly, if you are considering the y-axis, for 200 megawatt producing, the incremental fuel cost is 450 rupees per megawatt hour because the unit for IFC is rupees per megawatt hour. Similarly, when you are considering a maximum limit for generator A, that is 450 megawatt, in order to produce 450 megawatt, you need to spend 650 rupees per megawatt hour. Similarly, you can understand the same thing in generator B. That is, if you want to generate 150 megawatt, you need to spend 600 rupees per megawatt hour. Similarly, when you are considering upper limit for generator B, for generating 400 megawatt, you need to spend 800 rupees per megawatt hour. So from this, easily you can identify or you can understand that which generator will have more incremental fuel cost. Now tell me in our chat box, which generator will have more incremental fuel cost? I'm talking about incremental fuel cost, not generation. Yes, very good. So many people are giving that second generator is having more fuel cost when compared to the first generator. Now tell me, what would be the share in between these two? Which generator will take more share out of 700 megawatt? Generator A or generator B? Yes, roll number 243 is giving that generator A. Of course, so many people are giving that generator A will take more power when compared to B, because clearly we can understand from these two characteristics. If you observe these two characteristics, generator A will have less incremental fuel cost when compared to the generator B. Means generator A will take more share when compared to generator B out of 700 megawatts. But exactly we need answer. Means generator A will generate how much power and generator B will generate how much power. So I'm providing some options for you, and observe these options and drop your response in our chat box. And we have understood theoretically what is there in these two characteristics and apply that common sense and tell me the answer. Yes, some people are giving that answer is C option. That is GA is equals to 450 megawatt and GB is equals to 250 megawatt. Is it right, everybody? Yes, so many people are giving the same answer, option C. So the most important point is when you are considering generator A, in order to generate 450 megawatts, we need to spend here 650 rupees per megawatt hour for generator A. Similarly, come to generator B. Here, if you want to produce 400 megawatt, you need to spend 800 rupees per megawatt hour. So which is best here? It is better to produce 450 megawatt by using generator A itself, because in this case, it is enough to spend only 650 rupees. But when you are considering generator B, if you want to generate 400 megawatts, you need to spend here 800 rupees per megawatt hour. So that's why whatever the maximum limit is there for generator A, it is better to generate the same amount of power. So here, what is the maximum limit for generator A? 450 megawatts. So that's why we are going to generate a 450 megawatts by using generator A. So once 450 megawatt is generated by the generator A, then what would be the remaining portion? So easily we can understand the remaining portion is nothing but 700 minus 450. So what would be the answer? That is 250 megawatt. So this 250 megawatt is going to generated by the PV. So the answer in this case is C option, means generator B will take 450 megawatt and generator B will take 250 megawatt. Understood, everybody? So this is also very, very simple question, and from our basic observation, we can identify the answer. Okay. And this type of problem you are getting frequently in any competitive examination, and definitely I can assure that the same model you will get in your online examination also. So this is very, very important, because you need to compare simply the incremental fuel cost between generator A and generator B. The incremental fuel cost is less, then automatically the corresponding generator will take more amount of power. The incremental fuel cost is more, the corresponding generator will take less amount of power. A simple logic. Okay, understood, everybody? So answer is C only. A equals to 450 megawatt and B is equals to 250 megawatt. So with this, we have completed PSU's questions. So not only PSU's questions, in the conventional point also, we have completed each and everything, problematic also. Now, we will consider university previous problems. So all of you look at this problem, try to understand the problem. Now let's take this problem. the cost curves of two generators may be approximated by the second degree polynomials, that is nothing but C1 and C2. And already I told you that in some of the others may use C and remaining others may use F. Both are same only. Okay, fuel cost can be represented by using C or by using F. Okay, don't confuse between these two. And if the total demand is equals to 200 megawatts, then find the optimum generator settings. This is first bit. And the second one is how many rupees per hour would you lose if the generators were operated about 50% of the optimum settings. So first we will consider the first bit, that is find the optimum generator settings. Means we need to find out P1 and P2. So how we can find is, we have a basic condition is there, that is nothing but df1 by dp1 is equals to df2 by dp2. So that is nothing but our basic condition. So just equate those two, then you will get one condition. Then one more condition is demand is equals to 200 megawatt. That is P1 plus P2 is equals to 200 megawatt. So we will have two equations and we need to find out two unknowns. So easily you can find out two unknowns, that is nothing but P1 and P2. So that is the answer for your first question. That is optimum generator settings. And coming to the second one, what they're asking is, for example, instead of operating your generators at optimum levels, if you operate 15% off from the optimum settings, what would be the loss for you? Means how to take your P1 and P2 is, for example, once you find out P1 and P2, substitute those P1 and P2 in C1 and C2. Then you will get the fuel cost for C1 and similarly the fuel cost for power plant 2. Then add these two, then you will get total cost. That is nothing but your first answer. Coming to the second one, whatever the answers you will get in the first bit, P1 and P2, just take 15% off from that P1 and P2. For example, let us consider here, P1 is equals to 100 megawatt. Then here you need to consider P1 is equals to 85% of that 100 only, means 85 megawatts. Consider only 85 megawatts. That is nothing but P1 value. Similarly, consider P2 value. Then substitute those two in C1 and C2. Then add C1 and C2. Then you will get total fuel cost. Then compare first case and the second case. Then easily you can understand how much rupees would you lose if the generators were operated at 15% of the optimum settings. Okay, this is the answer for your second bit. So the same approach we have done in the examples of example 7 and example 8. So the same model we have taken in the example 7 and example 8. So that's why I'm leaving this problem for your practice. Okay. Similarly, consider one more problem. All of you look at this problem, try to understand. So here two power plants are connected together by a transmission line and the load is connected at plant 2. When a 150 megawatt is transmitted from plant 1 to the plant 2, the transmission loss is equals to 10 megawatts. This is the most important given data, and one more given data is the cost characteristics of the two plants, that is C1 and C2. Now what they are asking is find the optimum generation for lambda is equals to 22 and lambda is equals to 30. Means here we need to consider both the cases. Case 1 is nothing but lambda equals to 22 and the case 2 is lambda equals to 30. So first we need to find out P1 and P2. So how we can find P1 and P2? By using same condition, that is df1 by dp1 is equals to df2 by dp2. But here losses are represented in your given question, means this problem is belongs to penalty factor method. So here we need to consider L1 and L2 also. But here when you observe the given data, the load is connected very near to the plant, means your L2 becomes 1. So your condition rewrite as L1 into df1 by dp1 is equals to df2 by dp2 is equals to lambda. So find out L1 value, and we know df1 by dp1 and df2 by dp2 from C1 and C2, and we know lambda value. So easily we can find out P1 and P2. The same procedure will follow by taking lambda is equals to 30. So we have done a same model in the example of we have done the same problems in the previous sessions. Okay. Now let us try to take one more example. 3 power plants of total capacity is equals to 400 megawatts are scheduled for operation to supply total system load is equals to 350 megawatts. So total load is equals to 350 megawatts. And they have given 3 incremental fuel costs, that is IC1, IC2 and IC3. And what they're asking is find out P1, P2 and P3. So how we can find out? By using the same condition, that is nothing but df1 by dp1 is equals to df2 by dp2 is equals to df3 by dp3. So just equate IC1 and IC2, you will get one equation, and again equate IC2 and IC3, you will get one more equation. And one more equation we can get from a load, that is P1 plus P2 plus P3 is equals to 350 megawatt. So finally we have 3 equations and 3 unknowns. So easily we can calculate P1, P2 and P3. And similarly, one more important point is they have represented here constants, lower limit and upper limit. If all the 3 powers are in the limits, there will be no problem. But if any one of the generator or power plant exceeds its lower limit or upper limit, then we need to consider some more steps. So already we have done a same problem in the example 11. So that's why just go and consider example 11, then again come to 35th bit, then easily you can solve the same type of problem. So that's why I'm leaving this problem to you, because why I'm leaving this university previous problem means the same models we have done in the previous sessions. So that's why here I'm providing the example numbers also. If you have any doubt, go to that corresponding example, then again come back to this 35th or university previous problems, then easily you can solve these problems. Okay. And let us take one more previous university problem. All of you look at this problem. Two units are there. Each rating is 350 megawatt in a thermal power plant. And the constraints for these two are 200 megawatt and 75 megawatt respectively. And they have given IFCs for 2 plants, that is IC1 and IC2, and the total load is equals to 300 megawatt. And we need to find out optimum load scheduling, means P1 and P2. This is also a very simple problem. Just equate IC1 and IC2, we will get one equation. And one more equation is from load, that is P1 plus P2 is equals to 300 megawatt. So here 2 equations are there, 2 unknowns are there. Find out P1 and P2. The same model we have done in example 2 and example 10. This is also a very easy problem. So means what you can understand by seeing university problems means they're asking very simple questions, very simple procedure. So finally, when you are considering this unit, we have limited formulas are there. The first one is a final condition, that is df1 by dp1 is equals to df2 by dp2 by neglecting the losses. When you are considering the losses, L1 into df1 by dp1 is equals to L2 into df2 by dp2 is equals to lambda. This is for when we are considering 2 generators. Similarly, one more formula is loss expression, PL. PL is nothing but in terms of loss coefficients and in terms of real power generation. That is one more formula. And one more formula is penalty factor formulas. L equals to 1 by 1 minus dou PL by dou PC. So when you remember these 3 to 4 formulas, you can solve any type of problems. So that's why this unit is very, very easy and scoring unit also for this subject. So that's why I'm leaving this 36th problem for your practice. So finally, we have completed 36 problems from your first unit. So that's why I can say confidently, if you are so strong in these 36 units, 36 problems, you can solve any type of problem in your university point of view or any competitive examination point of view. So with this, we can complete or we can close your first unit. Now, the most important point is, this is 11th hour. Till now, I have taken 10 hours for your first unit. Now, after completion of the 10 hours, what would be the final output? Or what would be the end result? Means that is nothing but outcome. So the term is named as course outcome from the first unit. Now, everybody ask yourself, everybody, each and everyone who are participating in this classroom, everybody ask yourself, what did I learn from this unit? Everybody. Now I will change your settings and unmute yourself and one by one tell me your responses. Everybody ask yourself, what did I learn from this unit? Take a moment, try to remember from first class to today class, then ask yourself, what did I learn from this unit for the last 10 to 11 hours? Then unmute yourself one by one and tell me your responses. Yes. Roll number A0, 17 series A0.
Yes, sir.
Yes, what did you learn? Tell me.
I learned how the generator shares load,
Very good.
domestic load,
Yeah.
in optimal manner.
Very good. Still one more person, A5.
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me, what did you learn?
Sharing of loads, sir, optimal way and domestic way.
Okay, very good. Then 18 series 214.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Tell me, what did you learn?
At which point generator operate at a minimum cost and optimum way?
Very good. Very good. Then let me take one more person as 18 series 221. Then remaining people, just mute yourself, remaining people. (18 series 236).
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
how to divide the
Yeah.
total demand to minimum and maximum points of the plans to share.
Very good. Now, everybody mute yourself. I will try to put the same point in one question. Now, give the answer for that question. That question is, are you able to determine the optimum scheduling of thermal power plants using a Lagrange optimization technique? Means by using lambda. Now tell me, are you able to solve this problem or not? Let's type your answer in our chat box. So otherwise I will change your settings, then again unmute yourself and tell me the answer. Yes or no? Yes, roll number A0. Can you do it or not? Means can you solve this problem or not? Of course, so many people are giving the response in our chat box. Now you can unmute yourself and you can say the answer, yes or not. Now my question is, are you able to determine the optimal scheduling of thermal power plants using a Lagrange optimization technique? Can you solve this problem or not? Yes, anyone please respond. So once again, check your settings. Already I changed my settings. Yes, anybody can respond. Please unmute yourself. Are you able to unmute yourself? Okay, no, unable to unmute. Okay, type your responses in our chat box. Yes, some people are giving the response that yes, sir. So everybody, I need response from each and everyone from this group, because this is very, very important, because nowadays the outcome-based education is very, very important. Means after completion of the first unit, what would be the end result? What did you learn from the first unit? That is nothing but course outcome. So this is nothing but course outcome from the first unit. So once if you are able to solve this type of problem by using a Lagrange optimization technique, yes, we achieved our course outcome from the first unit. That is the meaning of a course outcome from the first unit. This is nothing but, we can say course outcome 1, or simply we can say CO1. Okay. Now most of the people are saying that our answer is yes only. Means we achieved our course outcome from the first unit. Okay. So this is nothing but your first unit. So with this, I will wind up your first unit. Okay. And in the next class, we will start our actual second unit.